Now that we are actually done with doing the Toba Toba hook step, can we really go to talking about whether this movie is good or not? Let's find out. The next offering from Hindi cinema this weekend is the Anand Tiwari directed film Bad News starring Vicky Kaushal, Tripti Dimri and Ammy Virk. For those who may not know, Anand Tiwari is a familiar face in front of camera, having acted in several noteworthy commercial films, but what people don't know is that he has directed films that have gone straight to digital, including Love Per Square Foot and Majama. With his big theatrical break this time, he presents to us Bad News, a spiritual sequel to Dharma Productions' own Good News. Focusing on Saloni Bagga, played by Tripti Dimri, who gets pregnant and is confused about the father of the child as she has had two one-night stands in the window that has resulted in her pregnancy. The confusion is between Akhil Chadda, played by Vicky Kaushal, and Gurbir Pannu, played by Ammy Virk. A simple paternity test should be the easy solution, right? But the curveball thrown towards us by the movie is that Saloni has a rare case of hetero-paternal superfecundation. A scenario in which the egg has been fertilized in the ovary of a woman by two different men. As fickle male egos are at play, a competition arises between the men on who can be a worthy and ideal partner for life as Saloni undergoes her pregnancy term. Does the film guarantee to be an entertaining ride in theaters? Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Bad News in theaters or not. Unfunny gags and mid-music. I mean, of course, the movie that is meant to be a carefree comedy and have a bunch of gags is not going to have 100% track record, right? It's bound to have some hits and misses. What benefits Bad News is that most of the gags land, and this in turn formulates the film to become a cute and carefree ride at the movies, but I would be lying to you if I did not confess that some gags definitely made me cringe. This includes an introductory cameo that acts as a means to tell this story, which I believe seemed the most disingenuous part of the story, as our leading lady chef Tripti has aspirations to get a Meraki star. Yes, our own desi version of the Michelin star. Other gags that just did not hit the mark for me include an unnecessary need now that I see with every commercial Hindi movie to prove their Desh Bhakti, as Vicky confuses a complicated medical term to Chinese gibberish, saying something on the lines of "मैंने कभी PUBG और TikTok नहीं use किया." A gag that we found even in a film like Bade Miyan Chote Miyan to prove your Desh Bhakti. It's getting rather tiring. A gag in a Japanese restaurant also, as the male egos are at loggerheads with each other, that really does not extract any laughs. And a family relative who plays a personal detective that makes the film go in circles rather than give us more insight into what could be more interesting. The three main characters, their feelings and interpersonal dynamic. The film leaves what has become the rage of the nation for last, but the musical album does not do any favors to the story, really leaving no impact. An album composed by several artists and the only highlight being Vicky dancing as they mask Tripti's lack of ability on the dance floor by doing the bare minimum right next to him. Authenticity of twang and themes. For a person who is born and brought up in Mumbai, it's absolutely insane to me that Vicky Kaushal fits so perfectly as the Karol Bagh, Gedi Maroing, privileged Londa without making it over the top or jarring. There is a certain twang to the people from West Delhi, and it's refreshing that it's not a mere caricature beyond owning a chart shop and being filthy rich. The reality show obsessed gossip in the living room, the Lala-like behavior that makes someone gallivant on a weekday afternoon because why not? There is a certain flair to the nonchalant nature of living, which I think the film gets really on point. There is also an inevitable conservative mindset that the population has despite their abundant wealth. This reflects on the thoughts that they have regarding working women and dismissing their professional dreams as a hobby. This acts as a huge deterrent and a point of conflict for Tripti's character that she just seems to find not getting through with other characters that she is surrounded with. While the gully cricket and Hoskas village did get a bit much, I mean, I don't blame them at all because the place is deserted as now, but before transitioning to Mussoorie, the film really did feel like a tale about folks from West Delhi. Dependence on comedic background music and rushed nature of screenplay. One of the things I noticed the most in the running time of this film is that there is a huge dependence on an omnipresent comedic background score. This is almost as if the makers are insecure about their punchlines not landing. So they make sure that there is not even a single moment, emotional or comedic, that is not enhanced further with a sound effect, making sure you know the feeling of the scene. If the scene exudes Punjabiness, a dhol plays in the background. A sad scene will have some melancholic piano piece. A Japanese restaurant and its environment is presented with a punchline with a... If someone is eating chicken, it's... So just the large dependence on a BGM to enlighten us about what's happening really was, I think, too much in this film. The movie has its sincere moments when you do empathize with their circumstances, and this could have easily extracted some emotional moments, only if the makers were not in such a rush to move on to the next set of events. Tripti's character describes Ammy Virk's personality to be refreshing as he has some therav as compared to Vicky, and I would have liked the same in the film's screenplay. The film almost felt like it had the pressure to entertain us in each scene, almost fearing us getting bored. I wanted to remind them कि हम कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं in several instances. Meta jokes galore. The film has a plethora of meta jokes that are best served for audiences who are true and blue Hindi cinema fans. Even though this does get repetitive, it mostly hits as it balances the act of being a slapstick comedy and a familiar drama. Kya se kya ho gaya, Sajan ji ghar aaye. So many songs play in the background. My favorite actually being Vicky with a dhol doing the Mohabbate pose as Shah Rukh Khan did so effortlessly. There are several instances where the film doubles down on the absurdity of events. There is nothing that made the crowd go absolutely wild than when a mother references a Bagal Wala Kabir and how Vicky is a far better partner than that loser. The joke absolutely hits the nail on the head. While most would think that the movie would miss the mark in several of these instances, one of my favorites also being Vicky defending Katrina's poster, I think the meta nature of it all and not taking itself too seriously worked for the most part for this movie. The misconception of Tripti and great support. Everyone had doubts about Tripti Dimri as a lead in a commercial movie, and I have to say that she fits like a glove in this universe. For those who restrict Tripti's ability to the nuanced performances in movies like Bulbul, Kala and Laila Majnu, should really watch her old YouTube skits. She's literally from Delhi Public School, and the role of the West Delhi Saloni Bagga is something she is not alien to. She has that fire in her, that spunk of giving it back if someone tries to act smart, and this is why the performances of this film really take it a long way ahead. Characters played by Neha Dhupia and Shiba Chadda terribly wasted in my opinion, and this is mainly due to the rushed nature of the screenplay. Ammy Virk provides great support as the male feminist figure who does and says the right things, especially being hilarious when he fears his own father whose intimidating photo hangs in his room. It isn't particularly outstanding, so much that it leaves a lasting impression, but good nonetheless. Vicky Kaushal can do no wrong. I really feel like this guy just assimilates with any genre and pitch of the film that you place him in. You want him to execute something intense and heartbreaking like Sardar Udham, he excels in it with flying colors. How about something zany and over the top in Govinda Naam Mera? He will do it with the same sincerity. This is what I feel about Vicky in this film, having the ability to make even the absurd and ludicrous somewhat charming and endearing. This is where I feel if this movie wasn't supported by a capable actor like Vicky, it could go from an average fun ride to a disaster, honestly. He has impeccable comic timing and undeniable charm. Even in his West Delhi way, he does put a smile on your face. Even in the sincere moments where characters deal with extremely vulnerable moments, he is the one who shines. The problem or the biggest stumbling block, however, with this film is that it is adamant in spending so much time in the comedic gags that it somewhat loses touch with its emotional core, making it rather surface level. I don't doubt it being a fun ride, a mostly carefree and cute time at the movies, but I do confess that the subject matter, especially with its screenplay, could have been better utilized. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Bad News. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.